Well, it says we're live. So we'll see what this one does. All right. Well, we're here. We're live. You have a new co-host. So if we're ready for this, get your questions in the chat box wherever they appear, and we're going to try to answer them as fast as possible. And yeah, so anyways, this is TC. He's going to be working with me. You can ask him what TC stands for. Maybe he'll explain that to you, but we'd like to get your guys' questions answered sooner rather than later. Where the heck did that? I'm losing everything over here. That's not good. So let's see. We got to pop that out. What the hell is going on over here? Anyways, I'm dying over here. I'll figure this shit out in just a second. There it is. But yeah, so let's get your guys' questions answered. Anyways, if you're new here, you don't know what we do. We do these live streams every Thursday from 3 to 5 Mountain Standard Time. We may also be doing a Sunday night live stream in another month or so, but we're going to get into you guys' questions here. So let's see. I feel like I'm missing something here. Double check something. Yeah, so we got one from Joe Gunn. Angry, how was your vacation? It was fucking awful. All I did was work. How was your vacation, TC?
Mine was good. I actually got to relax a little bit. That was nice.
Yeah. So, yes. So, anyways, okay. Let's see. And then we got, did I miss one else? Oh, yeah. And then we got one from Matt Tizzolo. Hope the pups been enjoying your time away from YouTube. Glad the streams are slowly coming back. Yeah, well, we're going to try to continue doing that for you. I think she's annoyed with me, but there we go. All right. And we got a super chat from Stuff I Find Interesting. Welcome back. I'm ready to start training again after a nice break. Don't eat birds. Yeah, don't eat birds. That's a Tommy Bennett thing. So for anyone that doesn't know, super chats will get a spin of the wheel. We got a mystery prize to give away today. So we're going to definitely try to do that for everyone. But TC, give it a spin. Well, that's how we're starting it right away. You got yourself a small sticker pack, sir. You know how to get a hold of me, info@angrysnowboarder, and give me that mailing address, and I will get that in the mail to you. And yeah, so okay, what do we got here? Let's find some questions. Oh, Joe Gunn's asking, does TC get angry? Do you rant?
Not really. I don't think I get that angry, more displeased, but it's rare for me to be angry, I'd say.
He will silently judge you.
Yeah.
And then tell me about it, and I'll rant. So yeah. Okay, so we got one here from Cameron Halmrest. How is 32's outerwear? I see it started a buy one get one sale, and it's already discounted footwear. With that said, its outerwear is basically 75% off. What's your take on 32 outerwear?
I had a 32 jacket actually and snow pants that were pretty decent. I mean, it's not the greatest stuff. It's not the driest, but like from my experience, it kept me dry. Not the warmest either, but
I view it as like mid-level stuff. You kind of pay for what you get with it. So if you buy low end, and when you buy the higher end, it's more like every other brand's mid end. I find the seam stitching is weird, and the size cuts are just
it's either I feel like super baggy or super like slim fitted.
There's like nothing in between. And so since I usually wear like a more tailored cut stuff, when I try on their slim stuff, I think I have to go up 2 sizes to get it to work. But if I'm putting on their baggy stuff, I have to go down like a size. Otherwise, it's like I look like Missy Elliott from the 90s, like I'm going to do a rap video. So, yeah.
But they have that deal every year.
They do, but they're hammering it harder this year than I've ever seen. Like they're trying to clear out whatever excess inventory they have. So there you go. Let's see. So we got Solidius Ocelot. Hi, I'm 150 pounds, size 10, a US boot. Looking to get a Mega Merc as my next do-it-all. Should I go with a 155 or 157 for riding up at Stevens Pass, Washington? Will I lose much from sizing up to the 157 for better pow float? Thanks. For Stevens, I'd go with the 57. That's just heavier pow in general up there. You're going to want that float and that stability when you get up there. So make sure that you definitely go with the 57. I think that's going to be the one that will give you the best, because that snow, like you've never ridden in the Northwest,
No.
have you? No. So the Northwest snow has just got that moisture content. You're going to be so much happier with that. Like when I lived up there, I rode bigger boards. I think my POW board was like a 169 or something. For frame of reference, living here in Colorado, I ride like a 160. So big difference in there. So I would definitely go with that 57 up there, unless you're trying to go with a more freestyle focus. But yeah.
Even with that being said, I mean, I rode the 57 and had no problems on groomers.
Yeah.
It's not that.
I mean, you're
aggressive of a board.
talking like 2 centimeters. That's really not a whole heck of a lot. So, okay. Okay. So we got one from Ty King. What's the better boot company that put in the tech and the quality? I mean, I always stick to the best boots, the one that fits your foot and fits your needs, but there are definitely boots that are better quality and have better tech. Like, you're a ride boot guy, I'm a K2 guy, and they're both owned by the same parent company. That I believe passionately that those two companies put so much into their boot tech.
Oh yeah.
Solomon's redoing their stuff for next year, and so there's some new tech in that as well. But yeah, I think, when you start to realize when you're looking around, like, there's stuff that'll get the job done, and then there's stuff that will go above and beyond.
Totally. And when you get to that upper price point too, normally they're starting to focus a little more on that, which is nice. But yeah, pretty much for the most part, I would say
anything like $300 and up is when you really start to notice the big difference. Actually, with inflation, maybe like $350.
Yeah,
would be the big one for that.
Yeah, because the last I was coming in at $330, and it's a solid boot.
That is a solid
boot.
If
you need it to last you 60 plus days, it's probably not gonna do that for you. But
yeah. Let's see what else. Oh, we got some super chats here. So let's take this one. We got give a spin for our boy Kevin Bees. Welcome back and welcome TC. So
we got.
Where are we going with this? Hey, you're just trying to make me give away stuff.
I've been watching a lot of Wheel of Fortune. We're getting it dialed.
Clearly. Classic Wheel of Fortune too.
Classic.
Bob Barker. Okay, we got a super chat from Brian P. Wasn't sure about the new guy, but now I see he rides the exact correct stance and angle. It's Angry Who? That's right. I'm retired.
Right.
I'm fired. I'm gone. Give him a spin. Give it a hard spin. There we go.
That was actually a sticker.
Let's see where this one's going. Ooh, spin again. Remember to eat your pocket bacon. Do you eat pocket bacon?
I do. I bring it to work with me.
There you go. Okay. So we got another super chat from our boy Kevin Bees. Come ride the Pacific Northwest TC. One day here is equal to 5 days of riding in Colorado.
I got to work out for that one, man.
I'm gonna have to get you like leg weights.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to be like high stepping that to get there. That snow is a workout. I remember when I moved from Washington to Steamboat, and I was like, what the hell? I keep hitting rocks. I was like, what is this bullshit? And I was like, remember to support your local shop. Also, speaking of local shops, Darkside up in Vermont, darksideSnowboards.com. They were in part of the flood. And so anything we can do, like ordering just even gear from them online, like a hoodie or something, will support them while they have to rebuild one of their shops. Dude, they got just decimated up there. So yeah. It's a rough one for sure. So yeah, support them. We got Steven Francis Stanek Scott. Unit Ultras or Stratas for switching between the Rome Party Mod and the Public Dispute. What do you say?
I like the Stratas better than the Ultras, just because I did feel that underneath my foot, like right where the base tray is, or the base plate, sorry. I did feel like a gap in there. So I like the Strata more. Also, you get to save a little bit more money on that one.
I would put Ultra on the Party Mod, because then you got that flat rocker and it's nice and loose. But on the Dispute, you want something that's a little more responsive, just to match up to that camber profile and get the pop that you want. So that's the way that I would actually look at it with that, is going with that. But let's give this man a spin. Well, support your local snowboard shop. We're going to take this super chat from Francois Seguin. Poor Slim can't drive in the snow top down in the Miata. But Slim did leave a voicemail for you guys. It's a doozy. It's a doozy.
It is.
And I know how much you guys love Slimothy J. Whitman, the third DDS. That's that.
Well, you call me Slimothy. I don't let anybody else call me Slimothy. I am Slim Whitman. I am Merchant Marine Slim.
Merchant
Whitman.
Marine.
Yes, that's right. It has been oh God, I don't even know how long. It has been a long time since I have called you. It's well, you've only ever called me once to make fun of. Wait, doesn't matter. You may remember I lost my house in Henderson, Nevada. That's right.
I miss Slim.
Henderson, Nevada. In a Dogecoin thing. But here's the I did get it back. I sued and I won. I showed up in a court of law, Avery, and I won. And you listen to me, you fucking dictos! Nobody takes advantage and puts Slim Whitman in a corner. Nobody.
Nobody puts Slim in a corner.
When that debacle had reached a climax, I was recruited. Yes, I was recruited, and I swore valiantly to defend our nation in the Marines. Except it wasn't the Marines. I'm on a boat, Amen. Get it together.
Slim's on the boat.
I'm currently in Tunisia.
He doesn't even know where he is.
Tunisia. That's right, Tunisia. I'm currently sailing off the coast of Tunisia. And what I've heard, I don't think I will make it back for snow in America this year. But I am looking for it here. I am looking for snow in here. And I'm looking for a snowboard manufacturer in here too. I heard there's one here. Maybe you can put in a good word for me to get me aboard, So, snowboard the Alpine Peaks of Tanzania. Tunisia.
He doesn't even know where he is.
Understand? Okay. That's all. I have to go now. It's time for mess, which I make a mess of life. But it means when I get to eat. I wish you were eating with me.
Slim Whitman, everybody.
Old Slim.
Good old Slimothy J. Whitman the third, DDS Esquire Merchant Marine. Maybe he'll become a captain. How do you feel about Slim Whitman?
Slim Whitman, he's got some problems right now. He's it's good to hear from him though.
He's living his best life. He's living his best life. Anyways, let's give Francois a spin. I know we missed some questions, so we'll dive back up into that here. Ooh, let's take a question for the TC. So the next one you get to answer. Let's see. Okay, let's see. All right, we can take this one from letters. Want to try some now bindings. IPO for the slush slasher or sashimi. What model for a black snowboard to death? What would you put?
Ooh, black snowboard to death. I would probably say the new drives, the DX, or
the CX. You mean
CX?
The
Yeah.
CX. You want to go that stiff? I was thinking maybe like the Drive Pro.
The
You
Drive
got to
Pro.
remember, like the O Drive and the Drive basically turned into 3 bindings this year. So there's the Drive CX, the Drive Pro, and then there's the Drive. Which you rode the Drive.
Yep.
So I think the CX would probably be too much for that board. So the Pro.
Then the Pro.
So yeah,
I got those ones confused this year for sure.
You think you're the only one? So just so everyone knows, like where we've been while we were on vacation, I just dropped off 156 videos to be edited. It was 1 terabyte of footage to Ben the editor. So we filmed those. That's all the snowboard reviews. Those will start September 1st. TCU rode 25, 30 pieces, I think, this year out of that. So we got a few stragglers we got to film, but that's whatever. I filmed 125 explained videos. Yeah, so that's a thing. And today we were working on our top 5 list, which I think there's like 35 or so between the kids, and the bindings and the boards and stuff. So we're going to start filming those in the next 2 weeks, getting those to Ben, the editor, to get those off. Boot Fitting 101 is getting filmed this week too. I'll probably pick at that slowly and do that because we got that going on. We're working on a show for just TC. We're going to kind of keep that under wraps. If you remember Patreon, you know what we're talking about, but we got something for him specifically. But basically what you're going to see is a ton of reviews from us, one a day starting in September, top 5s. We're kind of splitting it almost 50-50. I think it's like 60-40 for what he's going to do. So he'll move into that. You're going to get me for Explained for at least the next year. And we're going to be dropping 2 of those, one on Monday, one on Friday. I might switch the days on those. So they got that content. The Boot Fitting 101 stuff, I think we should have that done by September, or it'll be edited in September. There'll be a few videos that I shot before I switched cameras. So I'll get that edited and put up there. But basically, starting in September, we're going to have 1 to 3 videos a day, plus a bunch of YouTube shorts and probably Instagram reels. We're going to start cutting these live streams into smaller segments for reels and stuff too. So, yeah. So,
and then a BOA video.
We got in. So TC's going to do some BOA repair videos on that. We're doing, for anyone that has seen that FP insole video where they keep dropping the friggin' bowling ball and they're like, look at how damp ours are, even though it's shot like shit. You can tell that they're totally moving stuff around. So I bought a bowling ball and we got a bunch of footbeds and we're going to go debunk that video. So we got that going on. We got to deconstruct a couple snowboard boots, and I got to reach out to some more companies to try to get that. So we're going to be cutting snowboard boots in half and stuff to kind of show you guys a whole bunch of things like that. So yeah, I think that's what we got planned. But basically, like, get used to seeing TC. Eventually, we're probably going to give him his own live stream day, but he's going to be here on Thursdays, except for start to middle August. Got to go deal with some family stuff, sell a kidney on the black market, things like that. Yeah. So that's what we got. Okay, let's see what else we got here. All right, we got Scott Collane riding on Burton Asian Fit boot, but still can't dial it in great. Wide boot to fit my toe box. Any suggestions on this? I've heard Adidas has a wide one, but so out on them. 32 maybe. Well, Adidas doesn't even make boots anymore. They're gone. 32s tend to be wider, but the problem with their wider ones, like, they tend to be softer. So that's an issue. The new Solomon wide ones that are coming out next year, so they'll be dropping this fall, are supposed to be like a quadruple E width.
Yeah. Well, they changed their fit this year too on the regular boots that are wider.
Still. Yeah.
So like their wide is getting wide.
Wide. So there's that, and then
K2 wide as well.
K2 wide, Deluxe is a little bit wider, and Flux boots too. Most people forget that Flux makes boots. They're actually modeled off of an Asian Fit wide fit, and those are wide too. So there's options out there. You're just going to have to dig for them. So yeah, let's see. Which is funny. We'll go into this next question from Marcel Jungs. Hey, what do you guys think about Solomon boots, especially the launch and the dialog? I mean, as I always say, best boot's the one that fits your foot, fits your needs. The launch is their softer boot, though, like Freestyle Flex, but it does, I think, because you can get the one, they still make the straight jacket in there, don't they? Yeah, so you get the straight jacket for really locking it down. Which
that's
is
on the late. Well, that's on both actually.
Both, yeah. The dialogue, the launch is like their more freestyle one, but the dialogue is like kind of their all around. But I do think the dialogue is softer than the launch by a little bit, just the way that the ankle articulates on it, if I remember correctly.
They did change it next year.
Oh, that's right.
They did. It's very streamlined next year. It looks good.
Okay.
I'm interested to see how it fits, but yeah.
Okay. Okay, we got one from Thomas Acosta. Hey there. Do you happen to know if Nidecker will eventually release a stiffer strap or version of their Supermatic binding? Thanks. I believe that they were talking about it, but it's not this year. It's next year. And just so you know, you can take a flow strap, like because that's kind of where they got the idea. So like certain flow straps will actually work on that Nidecker. You can swap that out. I've seen it done. So there is that possibility there. All right. We got a super chat from Ian. Summer fun's got to go. Well, somebody was in and out. Buy stickers. Support me. AngrySnowboarderStore.com. There's a link in the description. That's a shameless plug. And then we got another one from our boy Kevin B. Snowboard Jesus wishes he could side slip like Slim. That's very factually true, actually. What's your thoughts on Snowboard Jesus? No. Did you miss us? Okay. We got RB with the super chat here. Where'd that go? Rode a Jones Mountain Twin this past season. Great board, but when I pushed it, it felt like it was lacking. Any suggestions? You probably need an Ultra Mountain Twin then. You could always go to that because it's the beefier version. Yep. You're probably what you're feeling, though, when you push it, when it feels like it's lacking, is the rocker in the tail. So you need something with a longer camber zone would be my suggestion. So maybe you like go up to a ride algorithm. I think that would be a really good one. Comparatively to that, you could, to an extent, I guess, like a Mega Mercury or a Super DOA.
Yeah. Could try an Aviator too.
Yeah, Jones Aviator would be the next logical progression in that. You could do like even like a Rome Mod Stale. So you got options there. It kind of just comes down to like what's folding on you when you drive that board. I'm assuming that it is just you're feeling that rocker when you push off the tail. Like you've hit that point where you're over flexing it and it's not giving you what you want. Ooh, remember to subscribe. All right. We got a PSA from Joe X. Okemo and Killington both had flooding last weekend, landslides and all. Fingers crossed they're open this season. It's my local shop. Let's help them out. Yeah, talking about Dark Side Snowboards. Vermont just got pillaged by that rainstorm. So, yeah. Give it a spin.
Spin it again.
Ooh, jumbo sticker pack for our boy Joe X. Why is it when you spin, they keep winning? Joe, you know how to get a hold of me. I'll get that in the mail to you, which we got some new stickers. I just cut a bunch of new die cuts, cool colors, and you helped weed them and stuff. And then, so we got some stuff coming out there. Okay. We got another super chat from Hamster Coolbean. Rode Hood for 2 weeks. Saw the weirdness you were talking about with the YouTube vloggers. Also, how do I repair an edge that's starting to separate? Ooh, that's a really in-detailed one. Like even doing this on the live stream, there's the quick way, which basically you pry it open a little, put some epoxy, you clamp the whole thing down, and you hope that it holds. Then the other one would be cut the base and put epoxy in, then you screw through the teeth of the screw to kind of screw it tight. So you got to do that. And then you got to wait, then you got to base weld, then you got to do it. It's a lot more in-depth than anything we could do for you right here. More than anything, find a repair shop that you trust that knows how to do it. Have you ever repaired an edge?
Yeah. I mean, it really depends on where it is too. If it's like right under your foot, good luck, dude. It's
going to just separate. If it's like your nose, fucking drill a hole and put a pop rivet right through it. Like that's the best advice I can give you. I did that up at Mount Hood. Oh my God, this 22 years ago. Bought a brand new original Sin from one of the pro guys at the pro sale at Wendell's. First day, they had like this, it was like a mailbox wall ride wally thing at the end of a quarter pipe. And I went to hit it and there was just a tiny lip. It hit, pulled everything back. And I was like, what can we do? It was the most god awful, like 9 rivets in the nose to hold that thing down. It looked awful, but it rode. I ended up I think I sold that for $100 to my cousin, and he rode it for like 5 years. So, did you miss us? I hope you missed us. All right. Okay. So we got one here from Letters. Thoughts on the new Spring Break Resort Twin? Is the shadow band changed at all this year? Shadow band stays the same. That's an easy one. That's solid. Did you ride the Resort Twin? I know I did.
I did not.
Okay, so the Resort Twin is like a twin Mercury. That board is phenomenal. Like I got on it and was just like, I don't want to get off it. It's just for a twin, it just does everything you want. You can ride it anywhere. Absolutely amazing. It's got solid snap. It's easy to butter jib with. It rails a turn when you absolutely need it. It's not overly demanding. It's just kind of like a rad dad twin cruiser that you can do everything with. So super stoked on that.
Yeah, the way it was described to me was like a Midwest Merc.
Yes, Midwest Mercury. That would be it. Yeah. Okay, so we got a super chat from James, and it involves you, sir. Live stream hype. TC has a good voice for writing reviews. Looking forward to the video drops. You have a voice for writing. So but yeah, guys, get used to TC being in videos and stuff. Gonna see a bunch of him. If you're a member of Angry Snowboarder VIP, we've been putting out, well, I was putting out a review every day all the way through last month. And this month, we're doing 2 a day. TCs are in the morning, mine are in the afternoon. That goes through the end of the month. And then there'll be 1 review a day till the 17th. I think it's the 17th of next month. And then all the stuff that we reviewed will actually be done. So, yeah, we did a lot of work this year. Yeah. So, okay. We got Thomas Acosta. Around what month can the steepest deals on last year's snowboards be found, and how deep of a discount is considered good from big players in the industry? So right now, Signal has some crazy deals going on. Like we were just looking at that. Like they have kids boards for $100.
Yeah.
Like good kids board with wood cores and stuff. But I know Battalion's got stuff marked down substantially on their website. Like you can find it all through the summer. There's usually one big sale around Labor Day, and they mark down more, and then they kind of go back up in price. This is like the last hurrah, but it's so hit or miss on sizes. Right now, what I'm telling everyone is like, you see something you want, it's in your size, and it's even 20, 30, 40% off. Just buy it now because you're going to be so much happier getting it. It's going to work the way you want it to. So, and give you the advantage that you absolutely need. I mean, you guys got any sales going on right now?
Yeah, I mean, whatever it pretty much is on the website for whatever they have. But then like Memorial Day was a big one where they'll do like a deep discount and then an additional discount on top.
Yeah.
Christie's was doing that as well as Evo. And
well, I know like on the Battalion website, if you go there, it's marked down, I think 20, 30%. But then if you sign up to their email address, you get another 10 or 15% for one purchase. And I think that's good with Rome right now too. So if you look around, there's like deals everywhere. And as someone mentioned earlier, 32 is doing buy one, get one. It's basically 75% off. So there are just deals everywhere out there for people. So, I mean, we're kind of in the thick of it. The other thing is a lot of companies, because of shipping issues and stuff and demand, and they realize that if they underproduced, the demand would be so high that they would hold their sale price more. So they're not producing as much as they were in the past, like even 5 years ago. And so we're seeing now that the prices are kind of stabilized. Like, honestly, I think anything 25% or more is just a great deal.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Okay. I think we're kind of caught up on guys' questions. So if you guys can try to get some stuff in here, we're going to try to answer them for you. Don't forget, we got a poll going on right now, and it looks like we've got 102 votes. And then how do you guys feel about the new co-host? 60% of you are all about it, but 5% of you want me to fire him. 27%, where's Kevin? And 8% Bernie wants him back. So for anyone that doesn't catch that reference, you worked for Bernie at Powder Tools, right?
Yeah.
How many years did you work there?
4 years.
4 years. Okay. Where'd you work before that in the shop?
Before that, when I was 18 years old, I worked in Dick's Sporting Goods. And then after that, it was Evo pretty much after Bernie. But yeah, in Bernie, in Powder Tools for 4 years. Pretty much lived in that store.
Yeah.
From September until we shut the mountain down, like 3 weeks after we shut the mountain down. I think I spent 80 to 100 hours at least a week there.
Yeah.
Like,
so
every minute of it.
Yeah. Also, we got an ad that's about to run for some of you in about 30 seconds. So don't freak out. We're just testing stuff, ways to make money, but that's what's going on. But yeah, so just so you guys know, he's got a good background. Like I trust him. That's part of the reason I hired him was like I wasn't going to hire any Joe Schmo to come work for me. This isn't the good ride. We're going to get you someone that actually knows what they're talking about. Like working for Bernie is trial by fire.
Yeah.
And if you can work there for more than a season, let alone 4 seasons, you've really proved your weight and what you can actually do. So,
Yeah.
what do you think about doing reviews?
I mean, it's really fun being able to ride everything, and it is a little bit tricky. Like some of the stuff, I just don't like riding those kind of boards, those kind of bindings. But you just think about the best, like who it's made for, and you're like, okay, get into their mindset, and it's pretty fun. Then some days you just kind of relax and be like, I'm going to be a beginner today, and just take it as it comes.
Yeah, well, I put you on a beginner board and you liked it. So,
yeah, board is fun.
Yeah, it was. Okay. All right. So here we go. We got S. Scott 1986. Is the Ultra much different in 2024? I can get the 2023s for cheaper on a few websites. And if it's just missing the cutout on the bottom, I've got a razor blade. They didn't even fix the cutout on the bottom like they said they were going to. So you still have to cut the bottom out on the 2024. There's literally no difference. Save the money. Buy the last year version. You're going to be so much happier. You're going to be good to go. So, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay, we got Richard Greenhall. Rome Agent, do you think it got heavier and rides a bit duff since they brought it back? No. If anything, it's actually gotten lighter because they're using different cores. I mean, if anything, the adding of that double kick to it really does change the ride of it. I mean, they only discontinued it for what, 2 seasons, 1 season, something like that. It wasn't that long.
It was like 2.
Yeah, and then they brought it back. So it wasn't anything super serious with that. But if you're finding that yours is like dead and heavy, I'd really start to wonder if maybe you got a separation or something going in there and some moisture got in the board, because everything that I've seen so far has been pretty solid from riding it. Okay. Okay. Tibby TT, is any brand still producing a full-on rocker board, not flat to rocker or hybrid? Yeah, Arbor still has that because you can still get the Westmark rocker, the draft rocker, the formula rocker. Skate Banana still fucking exists for whatever god reason. What do you think of the Skate Banana?
I mean, I had a park pickle back in the Midwest, but the second I moved out to Steamboat, I was like, I can't ride this thing anywhere except for that, like the kids park, really. So
Kids Park or a powder day?
Yeah, so that board got hung on the wall and now is MIA. So if anybody sees one that says 1-800 eat shit and it has the house sticker on it, that might be mine. Let me know.
Oh yeah, they tossed that on you, didn't they?
They might have.
So,
yeah, we don't know.
Yeah. So yeah, there's still brands. What I'm noticing is like you'll see like a new brand come out, and they'll be like, "We're putting the fun back in snowboarding and snowboarders for snowboarders and whatever bullshit marketing they use," and they're using all open molds, sized shit, and like you can spot it. You're like, I recognize this shape. They usually always have a full reverse, because the guy that's running the company is riding some 10-year-old Nike boots that are clapped the fuck out and probably has some godforsaken special blend outerwear from like 2007. Like, it's one thing that I've noticed with that. Yeah. Well, this is a fun one from Tim Hunt. Do I compromise the performance of the board if I ride a 23-inch stance on, say, a 20-inch reference stance? You're not compromising the board if everything's all accurate. All you're doing is changing your flex points because you're moving them further out. The bigger question is you might be compromising the integrity of your knees.
Yeah.
That's
it depends how tall you are, I guess. Like,
yeah.
You could be 6'6" and it's totally fine.
Yeah, no, it's all.
You could be 5'5" and you're looking like Shaun White out there.
Yeah, right. So what you're really doing is you're just moving where the flex points are, because ideally reference stance is where it's going to ideally flex, but going in or out of it's going to change just a little bit. Okay, Matt Tizola, are any running shops, I think you mean tuning shops, still open, taking boards? Been meaning to go to Pups or Montecero since February, but still progressing. Pups is closed for the summer. It's a the fuck is it right now? It's a rafting company for the summer, but Montecero might be taking tunes. I'd give them a call and see. So, all right. Okay, Slushy Shredder. What now bindings match up well with the slush slasher and black snowboard death? Asking for the homie letters, stupid. We already answered this question. We answered that question. He can scroll back. He knows what he's doing. It'll be there when he gets back. So, okay. We got a super chat from David off Black Dynamite. So I bought the Disruptor despite your advice. Yeah, I know. Smaller, not wide. $200 for a board. I'll inevitably snap landing tail heavy on a large line. I'll upgrade my broken Park Pro later. Yeah, for $200, if you know you're going to go in and break it, and you got 20 days out of it, you pay $10 a day. You know,
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
not bad.
that's not a bad. That's not bad. You get a full like. Let's say you got a 100-day season out of that. You pay $2 a day to ride the damn thing. I think that that's actually not a bad idea. I know you didn't listen to me. No one listens to me. I've just come to that conclusion. I'm just the old man yelling at clouds. Give her the beans, right? Do you give her the beans?
Give it the beans.
Yeah, you gave her the beans last night. Okay, so our boy Cameron Holmrest with the super chat. Is Powder Tools owned by Christie Sports?
Technically, they sign the checks, but that's where it ends pretty much. They let us do what we want.
Yeah, well, Steamboat Powder Tools.
Steamboat Powder Tools, yes.
All the other ones, very different world. Steamboat Powder Tools lives in its own universe. You go to the Winter Park Powder Tools, it's not the same.
Bruce and the guys are awesome, but yeah, a little bit different over there.
All right, next question gets a spin. Okay, let's see. Okay, we're going to take this one from Gunnar Festool. How does weight generally affect board performance? Wouldn't a heavy board be really good for blasting through chop and high-speed carving?
We're saying weight as in
Like the weight of the board, yeah.
Not necessarily. Like you can have a super light board that's like the Commissioner or something where it's not crazy heavy, but it's pure carbon in there.
Yeah.
And that'll just cut through any.
And it's got metal in the sidewall.
And it's got metal in the sidewalls.
So
no, because I mean you could.
Well, no. The Commissioner's got metal in the top sheet.
Yeah.
The Deep Fake's got metal in the sidewall. Want to make sure we're right on that. I just filmed those explain videos. But yeah, that board's crazy light, but it's also crazy stiff. Just because a board's heavy does not mean that it's going to do great at high speeds or chopper turner. Look at a fucking Never Summer.
Yeah.
They weigh like a pound more than everything else because they got 2 extra layers of fiberglass. It's the fiberglass that's doing it, but it adds all that extra weight to it. Then they put in that lasagna camber and fucking you feel everything underfoot in it. It doesn't necessarily equate to it. Like if you look at an amplit board and it's got the visco damp in there or the anti-phase, that'll cut through chop and chunder super easily. Boards aren't heavy by anything. But if you go and look at a Karua and like, let's say it's the Cafe Racer Plus, it's got that titanium layer in there. So it's not that it's heavy because of the wood core or anything. It's heavier because it's got a full layer of titanium in there. Well, there's only 2 things that's going to do. It's either going to cause the kinetic energy to go through it or it's going to bend. And the way that board's built, if you bent it, you're dead. It's just going to push through everything in it. Yeah. So it's kind of a hit or miss on that one.
Well, yeah, I mean, look at boards from 30 years ago.
Yeah.
They weigh like 30 pounds, and some of them you can just like flex right through it, like an old Tech 9 board. Like,
oh, yeah.
Like,
God, what was that company? Someone sent me a board, and I swear to God, the core was like this thick. It was like almost an inch.
I know what you're talking about.
And you could just feel everything with it.
Yeah.
Like, it just didn't do anything. So it's kind of hit or miss on that one. All right, let's see. So, well, he gets a spin. So we'll give that to our boy Gunner. Ooh, spray them all.
Nice.
Okay. Oh God, don't ask me about shops in the Northwest. There's that shop that's it's in Bellevue. I can't think of it. Anyways, Thomas Costa, any reputable places to put structure in a board in Washington State? Also, what kind of structure would be good for the heavy Pacific Northwest snow? Talk to the guy that's tuning. They should know what's going on with local conditions. There is a shop in Bellevue, and I can't think of what the fuck its name is off the top of my head right now. And it's going to piss me off because I definitely sent them a sticker pack for supporting us. Okay. Francois Seguin, how's the Signal Omni glitch? I got too many boards, but I looked at the deals and seemed interesting. It's got channel on it. It's a directional twin. It's probably a mid-flex. That's one I have never ridden. I really want to. So, yeah. Okay. Oh, here we go. I'm going to give you this one from Jay Ellis. Just picked up a ride War Pig. What board would complement it? I ride Summit County, not into park. Give him 3 options.
I mean, if to compliment, if you want to just stay all mountain, and if you wanted to stay ride, I would probably start off with a deep fake.
Yeah.
Just get a little bit there. Otherwise, I mean, you could go like if you want to go stiffer, maybe a K2 Alchemist, something like that, or
Maybe a flagship.
yeah, maybe a flagship, or like
Or if you want to go really cool, Free Carver.
yeah, that would be sick.
Then you got opposite ends. You got like a carving party board and a full-on party board
Yeah,
in there. That would be one. Maybe like a battalion, like a Goliath Plus, something like that. Get that 3BT in there, play around. Or
I mean, you could even go like a passport or like a Merc. Like it really depends on what you want to do with it. Like
you could even do like a crosscut from Arbor.
yeah,
So you got
a lot of options.
You got a lot of options, which we were actually just working on like the top 5 all mountain free ride, diehard free ride, and lists right before this. So we've got lists coming out in the next few weeks for you. So that would definitely. Okay, I'm gonna give you this one from Dirty Nuggets. What is structure? Please pardon my ignorance.
So structure is pretty much like grooves they cut into the bottom of your board. So that way it allows moisture to wick through the bottom as opposed to becoming like a suction cup when you're on the snow and sticking to it. Never Summer doesn't put structure in their board. So you'll
Neither
notice
does Mervyn.
Neither does Mervyn. Neither does Burton. But like it's not great.
No.
But like structure allows the moisture to wick through your board so you can keep going and not like stop when it's all sloppy, or like in fresh powder you want not as much structure because the snow isn't as
I think
wet.
that Zero's got structure in the base.
Yes, it does.
So
Yeah. Will you put your nails on it?
yeah, if it sounds like a zipper. So what it is like you said, it's these little grooves. And so what you get is like these little grooves right here in the base. And so what that is doing is they run tip to tail. Sometimes they have different formations in there, but what that's actually doing is it breaks up that static friction that you get and the suction on the base. And it allows, because we glide on a thin layer of water from the friction, so it actually funnels it out to the side or back through the tail to keep us gliding better. So like a good structure goes a long, long, long way for just allowing your board to go a little bit faster. Okay.
And you want different structure based on different temperatures.
Watch your knees over there, boy.
I got long legs.
Yeah, I'll take you down a peg or two. So yeah. Okay. We got this super chat from Thomas Martinson. Newbie question: what is the basics when matching a binding to a board?
Well, when you're matching a binding to the board, you really want them to have the same flex to it, where you don't have a super soft binding with a super stiff board, where you're just going to kind of keel over and your board's going to stay fully on the ground. You want something that matches. Also, you want it to match your boot as well, where you don't have a crazy soft boot on a stiffer setup where it's not going to be able to give you the response you're looking for.
Yeah. Going into what he said, I mean, a lot of it's personal preference, but when you're starting out, you just want a meat and potatoes binding that is going to keep you locked down. You're not going to overflex it, but you're also not going to struggle to drive it. That's why we always put out like our top 5 best bang for the buck or workhorse bindings. Those are good for just about anyone. Like we're going to have a beginner binding. And when we do our beginner binding list, we don't do like never ever bindings that you're going to outgrow. This is shit you can take with you for a while and kind of actually progress. But like you said, you want it to kind of match up to your boot flex, your board flex. So it's all working in conjunction. If you have something that's too stiff, it's not going to work for you. If it's something that's too soft, you're going to overflex it and be twisting that board underfoot, and then you're going to scorpion and die, and then you're dead. Then they got to cart you off the hill. Then they cart you off the hill. The next thing you know, the insurance premiums go up for the resort because your family's suing them, and then we have to pay higher lift ticket prices, and we're not down with that. So don't do that. Yep. Whole roundabout thing. Spray them all, people. Spray them all. Okay, let's see. Oh, you might know this. Abshire, do you know of any good shop on the Front Range that you would recommend for structure? Like Christie's Lakewood, maybe?
Christie's Lakewood, maybe Cherry Creek actually.
Oh, Cherry
Creek.
Christie's, Cherry Creek, or Lakewood. Let's see. God, what's that one shop down in Boulder?
There's Bentgate, but they're more of a backcountry.
No,
shop.
not Bentgate. There's they do like custom boot fitting and ski racing shit, so they know how to do structure.
Yeah.
Bob's or whatever I think it is.
Something like that.
Yeah, so check that. I went out. But if you're in the Front Range, fuck it. Just drive up and go to Dillon and go to Montecera.
Mhm.
Like, if anything, drop it off. Like, come up and ride for, like, if you could ride for the weekend or whenever, drop it off. Tell me you'll be back to pick it up in a week. Boom. That's the place to go. Or you could even stop in, see our boy Creston at the Dillon Christie Sports, or Jamie over at the Frisco Christie Sports across from the Walmart. Jamie's a pretty solid dude. I've known him for like 20 years. He's good. If you're in Breckenridge, Pups Glide Shop or Lone Star Sports, that's really good. Lone Star has the Montana.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that thing's fucking mint. Yeah. So you got some options there. Let's see. Okay. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. Drago C, can't wait for the winter. Was thinking of going to the closest indoor hill. Any idea on what to expect? How is the snow in the indoor ones usually? Icy things? It depends when you go. If you go when it's not crowded, you're riding on ice chips, but you can actually set an edge in and carve. It's basically like being in a giant beer cooler with recirculated air. It's kind of humid. You really don't need a jacket, just a heavy hoodie, and you're fine. Make sure you're wearing like a decent glove because the crystals form and get the ice rash on it. If it's really busy and there's a lot of like foot shuffling mouth breathers, it's probably going to be icy because they're side slipping and skirting everything off. But overall, like if you're going to go for 2 hours and you go early in the day before anyone gets there, fucking primo. I went 2 summers ago to Big Snow in New Jersey. I had a fucking blast. Best $80 I've spent snowboarding inside ever. So yeah, there's that. Okay, let's see. But yeah, anyways, I see we got 102 people in here. If you're just getting in here, you got questions, get them in the chat box. Super Chat's got a spin of the wheel. We got a mystery prize pack we're going to give away. Also giving away stickers. We also have a poll going, so feel free to take the poll. It's all about our boy TC. If who's TC, this is TC. He's our Arthur Longo lookalike. Now that you see it, you can't unsee it.
That's true.
Oh, okay. Fred Stone, interested in working for a ski resort. Colorado, who's the best to work for? Who should you avoid? Well, in Colorado, you're kind of stuck with the two biggies unless you go to a small one. So you're either going to work for Vail Resorts and get ass raped and hate your life, or you're going to go work for, what is it, Powder Corp or whatever the fuck it is. Ski Corp, whatever. It's got some basically icon pass. So honestly, if I was going to go work for anyone, I'd go to Aspen. If I could afford to live down there. It's where the rich and the beautiful live.
What about A-Basin?
A-Basin's cool.
Just
long season. Long season. You do get the perk of the real deal, which they give you a letter to go take to other resorts minus Vail, so you can actually ride there for free, which is really cool. And they have partner resorts. Kind of ask yourself where you want to be, but just understand this: if you apply to work for Vail Resorts and they promise you housing, get it in fucking writing. Mm-hmm. And then make sure that they give it to you, and be prepared to walk if they don't give you housing, because they will promise you housing and then be like, no, we never said that, and gone. So they're really bad about that. You worked for Vail, didn't you? Yeah.
I worked for Vail and for Ski Corp.
Oh, so you know, but you know how bad Vail is. They lie.
Yeah, Ski Corp's better than Vail.
Yeah, they're better. Steamboat would be a cool place. Like if you're young, like go to Steamboat. That's totally cool. It depends how long you want your season to be. Winter Park's out in the boonies. Everyone does meth and chews tobacco, so you don't want to be out there unless you chew tobacco and do meth. Maybe, I don't know. That's your thing. Keystone, you'll probably get crabs. Breckenridge, you're definitely getting crabs. Definitely getting herpes. But the good news is they put a market across the street now from the staff housing on Airport Road. You can actually walk across the street and buy overpriced beer, like probably a 200% markup for the convenience fee. But, so that's it. I mean, the big thing with working for a resort is find an evening job. That way you can ride all day. Mm-hmm. I had a kid that lived on my couch once. He had the most cake-ass job. He was night maintenance. He cleaned one ski hill place up on Peak 9.
Mm-hmm.
His shift started at 5 and he was done at 11. And they let him just get food from like the leftovers from the cafeteria. So he was just eating. He would just like get super high, go in and just like walk around with a cheeseburger, dusting tables and vacuuming and taking out trash. He's like, I spent most of my time just smoking weed by the dumpster. That motherfucker, if he wasn't so lazy, he could have probably been a pro snowboarder. He'd wake up about noon and go ride from noon to 2 o'clock every day. But I mean, powder day, couldn't get him out there. But he got to ride just like being a lifty, you don't ride much. No.
You don't get to ride.
Snowboard instructor, glorified daycare.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to do that. Food service, you're fucked, right? Like find something that's like a night security is a good one.
Yeah,
like that's a really cake job because you're usually done by midnight. So that's good. Front desk, like night audit or evening audit, but maintenance jobs like cleaning jobs that are evening are the best.
Or the night tuning as well.
Night tuning, yeah, if you can find something that does that. Shop jobs are cool depending on the shop and the manager. So like if you work for, like when I worked for Christie's, we had a lot of split shifts.
Yeah, we had splits.
Yeah, so
4-hour splits.
So I think 3 days a week I would open, and then 2 days I'd have split shifts. And my split shift started at 11 and I had to be back by 3. So 11 to 3 I could go ride, and then I'd come back and I'd work 3 to 8 or whatever it was. And that was pretty cool. Yeah, so you kind of want to like figure out what you're going to do and where you're going to do it, but you can end up with a really good job and get to, it's all about, it's literally like joining the military. If you make the right choices, you will get the most out of it, and you can fly under the radar and abuse it. Like I worked for Vail when it was called Specialty Sport Ventures, and Vail, they had a partnership for the retail division. So Vail owned 49% of the company. So I got all the perks of the pass and all that shit. This was what my shifts were. Monday morning, I'd open the shop and I would work till noon. I'd hop the bus and go ride Keystone till 3 or 4 because they had night riding. Or, well, Mondays they were closed. But then I'd do that. Tuesday, come in at 3. Wednesday, come in at 3. Thursday, 3. Friday, I'd have to come in at 2 just because it was a weekend. Or something like that. Or then Saturdays and Sundays, I think I'd come in at like noon. And I'd usually, this is back when they were still, I could get up to A base and I'd go up to A base and crank out a couple laps, hop the bus, and then go to work. But the big thing is like, I got all the benefits with none of the bullshit. I had management that totally let me ride. And I was averaging like 100+ day seasons. Yeah. So, that's the whole thing. It's all about choices. You ever made a bad choice and not been able to ride?
Yeah, I mean, I worked at Central Reservation for Steamboat.
Oh,
and
God.
I was like, be at work at 10 till like 7. So it was like, when they had night riding, it was like, get out of there at 7 so I could ride for an hour. And it was like, not even a chance to try to ride in the morning.
Oof.
Yeah, that was a tough one. But it got me through college, so.
Okay, we're going to take this one from Thomas Acosta. What's the best way to protect high-stress areas, knees, etc. while snowboarding? I'm 19, but I'm trying not to suffer too much as I continue to go to age. Stretching, exercise, looking to know my options. That's the big one. Stretching, exercise, and hydration. Those are the big 3 right there. The other thing is knowing your limits, like when to walk away and learn how to fall properly. Like, that's the big thing. Like if you know you're going to hit a knuckle of a jump, it's better to snap your board than blow your ACL. So you learn how to drop your tail and snap the board as you ride back and do it. I'd rather break a $500 board than have a $50,000 knee bill again. Like that's the whole thing. But if you build your body up and exercise and take the precautions and do it, and understand that there's just times you need to have down days or when to walk away. Like I think we were talking about this last week when you were like, oh, wasn't that the day you were just like, I'm fucking beat and I'm going home. And I was just like, and it was like 11 in the morning. I was like, I'm fucking over it. I'm going home. I'm beat. I've been riding mashed potatoes for 30 days straight, So that's kind of the thing. Like, do you have anything that you do for yourself?
No, just make sure your stance is right too. Like make sure that that's as comfy as possible where you're not like having your stance at 0-0 where your knees are actually ducked in. A lot of people don't know, but your feet naturally want to like bend out to make your knees like in line.
Well, that's
so
the whole
don't
thing.
Fight it. Like
no, and I always tell people when they're like, you need to ride a posy stance. And I was like, I don't need my hip popping out of alignment.
No, just whatever's most comfortable.
Yeah,
for you is gonna help.
As long as it's not pigeon-toed.
Yeah. Well, that and just like almost skating in the off season to keep the impact so your knees aren't like
Yeah.
new to it again at the beginning of each season.
Yeah, that like ease into the season.
Yeah.
Like I typically last year I kind of broke my own rule, but I try to like ride 5 days before I hit any park features and stuff. Then again, I'm 40 years old, so like I'm a fucking dinosaur. You know, I'm not young like this guy over here.
Yeah.
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 I got 10 years on you, buddy.
Yeah, that's true.
So, you know. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Okay, we got Joel Rods. What if you're on the borderline of the weight limit of a board? How does it affect you? It doesn't affect you, it affects the board. So weight ranges are just a guideline, but if you're at the higher end of the weight range, it's going to flex more. If you're at the lower end of the weight range, it's going to flex less. That's really what it is. You ideally want to be somewhere in the middle to get the most out of it. But then when your personal preference takes over, like you can kind of do it. Like with park boards, I always ride something a little bit smaller. When I travel to like the Northwest or something where it's heavier snow, I go with bigger boards. But around here with lighter weight snow, I don't need it because you're going to sink anyways out here. You don't float as much. So when you sink, you need that power to push off the bottom and stuff. So that's the whole thing. Like if you have a board you like, but you're like, I want it to flex more, buy it a little bit smaller. And if you know, and that way you're at the high end of the weight range. But if you're like, I want it to be a little bit stiffer, buy it bigger and be at the lower end of the weight range, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Yeah. That's exactly it.
Yeah. So, first off, I'm really jealous of this guy. Jacob Iverson. Normalized brands putting structure in their boards from the factory. Went to a shop and it cost $10 and made a world of difference to ride quality. $10? Fucking A. I haven't paid $10 for structure since the 90s. Actually, I think even back then it was $25. Yeah. Fuck, man. $10? God damn.
I was going to say it's 60 at the least.
Fuck. Even if I get the homie hookup, I'm spending at least 30 on a 30 rack of shitty ass beer for the friends, or I've got to bake them cupcakes or something. So,
$10, that's a deal, man. That's cheaper than wax. Like,
fuck,
that's cheaper than
$10. You guys have never done anything for $10.
No. Epoxy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Used to be BOA fixes.
Yeah.
That's labor. Parts are free.
This is a good PSA from Ginger Boardman V2. Fun story about structure. Got mine redone mid-season and hit my normal jump line. Realized how much quicker you go with it as I watched the landing sail behind me and prepared my knees for the flat. Factually true.
Yes.
Factually true. So yes. Okay. Ty King, what would be another choice to substitute the Union Atlas? A stiffer binding without spending overwhelming amounts of money. Right now, the battalion website, go get the Astro full wrap.
Mm-hmm.
That would be a great substitute. And if you can sign up to their newsletter, get that extra 15% or whatever, $15 or whatever it is. Like, I think they're like $189 or $239, somewhere in there, that price range. That's a fucking screaming deal for a great binding with great, actually it's better dampening than the Atlas.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's just a far more damp binding, but that is a great option if you're looking at the Atlas. They definitely match up when you've written it. Yeah. So you know.
Yeah, I really like the Astro. Those straps.
Fucking amazing.
Those are amazing.
I think I kind of want to replace all my Black Label straps when they die with just those straps.
They're so nice.
Like, yeah. So okay. Got one here from Michael Jackson. Got 8 days last season for living in Florida. Do I still qualify as a person that snowboards? I'm addicted to the sport. I want to get a season pass for Mount Baker next season. Thoughts? You know, you got to go with like what my old roommate Carlo. He lives in New York City, works for the Fed, right? But he doesn't live in New York City. He lives here. He just works there 9, 10, 11 months of the year. So, you know, you live in the mountains. You're just working Florida. That's that. It's a state of mind, right?
Yep.
It's a state of mind. You got to go with it, man. You got to go with it. Like, as long as you can get up there. But getting a season pass to Baker, flying into Seattle and doing that'd be awesome. So in about 50 seconds, we're going to be running an ad for some of you guys on this. Like, don't freak out. We're still here. So we're going to try to take a few more questions. Let's see. Okay, where were we? We're going to take this super chat from our boy, My Knees Are Cheese. Looking good, fellas. Just logging on. Sorry if This got covered. Some of the new lib boards appear to have 3D noses, ejack, etc. Make any noticeable difference? And what the hell is up with that $1,500 one? What's Mervin?
Yeah.
That's actually cheap. They could have charged $2,500. So here's the big thing. Steely D has a 3D nose, but if you take a true bar and run it down right when it hits the concave, right where the kick is, it goes flat. It does it. Oh, it's not in here. I took it out. I have an Apex Orca with the 3D and the shape in the nose. All that is PET recycled bottles in there to reduce swing weight. So there's that in there as well. I didn't realize the ejack got 3D shaping. Like the rep never mentioned anything to me on that, but I knew I needed to ride it and I didn't get a chance to. So that's something I got to look at. I know that they're going with more 3D shaping and they're playing around with stuff. Like that Steely D is straight up, it's V'd like this. That is an aggressive, like 3D shaping. But I never felt it when I was riding it. I was like flat base and it was fine. And like even in slush, I was like, it just rides like a snowboard. And then like I got home and I was like, what the fuck has this got 3D shaping in it? And I was like, holy shit. So don't forget to wipe, sinners. You goddamn heathens. Let's see what we got here. Okay. Let's see. Ooh, Jacob Iverson. Speaking of Longo, how's the air now? That's a fucking rocket ship. I sent a side hit like 40 feet down. I was riding with Kobe's girlfriend, Lauren, and she's deaf, just so everyone knows. And she comes up, she's like, holy shit, you fucking sent it. And I was like, Jesus Christ. She's like, you're just like, and I was like, yeah, that board is aggressive. That might be one of the stiffest boards that they actually make in the Capital lineup. Like that, you didn't ride it, did you?
I wanted to so bad.
Yeah, that thing was. It is not like. I think a lot of people could just be on a Black Snowboard to Death or a Megadeth, maybe even a Kazoo. That one, I got a fucking workout in it. I rode it in some heavy wet pow, like hitting every side to hit. I fell off of. There's like this weird 90-degree side hit. I thought I could ride it like a bank and come down. Yeah, no, I kind of just went straight off and fell about 8 feet to flat with a mogul in the middle, and the board just wrapped around it. That and then it bucked me when it hit. It like wrapped around and went, like slingshotted me back up. So that thing is that's a beast of a deck. So, okay, David Tannenbaum. Any recommendation on boards that have a similar ride and feel to the OG Mind Expander flat to rocker? What do you think? Santaki, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Well, that's camber.
I know. Well, I know the Basher, the Nitro Basher for next year would be the closest. That's a flat to rocker. It's not going to be, the tail's not going to sink as much because it's an asymmetrical board. It's asymmetrical.
What about a party wave?
Party wave, kind of. Yeah. It's but it's still camber underfoot.
Yeah.
So party wave, kind of.
That's a good question.
That's a real flat. You're looking for something with that surfing flex. Amplitude kill switch is kind of loose like that. That would be another one to kind of consider. It's cam rocker, but it's so soft that it kind of rides like it. Trying to think if Arbor would have anything, even though they're reverse in the center. But I don't know. No, I don't think so. Ride really doesn't have anything. K2 doesn't have anything.
Capita doesn't.
No, like Spring Break really doesn't.
Because the special effects is camber, right?
Yeah, but it's a mellow camber.
Yeah, it's a micro.
Special, but that's maybe the special effects or even the Niseko Pleasures.
Yeah,
because it's such a soft camber in that board, it would kind of be like that. I'm trying to think like what else. It's not. It's like so many people have gotten away from that profile. I think Burton has something like that, or they did. What was that, the Slush Puppy or something?
maybe. I don't know. So many.
Yeah, fuck, dude. I don't even
They
pay
brought the
attention.
nug back.
Brought back the Craig Kelly air.
They did. It looks sick.
Okay. Let's see. Okay, we got one from Kevin Beaudry. Went to Mammoth in February and got dumped on. I'm in need of some better goggles. What are your favorite goggles to wear? I'm a Dragon guy.
Same.
Right now. That might change in the future. But the big thing is when you go to look for a goggle, try to find something that's got a quick change lens, but not that bullshit magnet. Like you'll see a lot of generic companies be like, "Oh, look at the magnet, you can pull it off." You want something that's actually got a locking tab in there and stuff. I like the Dragons because it's got the flip tab, the quick tab on the side, so it's actually locked in. But that way you can get like your bright day and your low light lens, and that's kind of the big thing. The other thing is think about your ventilation in there. Like with Dragon, they've got that armored ventilation, so instead of having foam on the top, which I actually don't have a pair in here, I thought usually I do, but with them not having that foam in the top, you don't have to worry about it like water getting in there and eating it up. You can just brush it off a lot easier. So big Dragon guy, but I think we're going to try some new stuff. I talked to a few companies, so we're going to try to test some stuff out.
But make sure you just try them on. Make sure that you find something like that. Your lenses, the main thing, something that accommodates your eye. Everybody has different eyes, sees through different lenses better. So just try enough on. I like a lighter weight goggle myself, just so if you're like spinning or jumping off of stuff, if you have a hard landing, your goggles don't slide down on your face, and now you got like your goggles in your eyes instead of on them.
I like a wider peripheral, and then the lens color affects me so much because I've had eye surgery and I've got blue eyes. So for me, unfortunately, Dragon got rid of the best lens, that blue one.
Yep.
Oh my God, that was such a good lens. Like I cried with it. So I've always been looking for something like that. But, and then the other question is like, do you go polarized, not polarized? Like polarized is great on like a pow day, but if it's a flat light icy day, you
can't see anything. Really.
Yeah, you're like kind of fucked. Oakleys are solid. Like I still do use a set of line miners with the Prism, and I think the Prism is a super solid lens. Smith makes some great stuff, and on basically any of the big brands. So you start with your Oakley, your Smith. Those are the two top dogs. Then you got your Dragon, Electric, Zeal, Anon. Then underneath that, you'd get your like Von Zippers, your Dang Shades, stuff like that. Ashbury in there. The other thing is look and see if it's got a Carl Zeiss lens. Zeiss lenses are amazing. Like Tommy Bennett's goggles, the Benetech stuff, have a Zeiss lens. They're not the most durable in terms of like an impact resistant, but they're more optically pure. Like Tommy and I have talked a lot about this. So there's something in there as well. So shout out to Tommy for starting a goggle company and trying to make optical quality. Okay. This one's kind of funny from one of our longtime regulars, Waco. Hi, just dropped in. Did get notified from YouTube. Who is that younger non-mullet Kevin? This is TC, aka Arthur Longo. Okay. All right. Okay, let's see. Pat from Ski Cooper's in here.
Hell yeah.
Dude, Ski Cooper's the best. Oh my God, love Ski Cooper. So first and foremost, Thirsty Thursdays at Ski Cooper, $30 lift tickets. We're going to try to plan some meetups up there. We're going to definitely do that. So if you're in Colorado, come on out, $30. We're going to go ride the coolest little resort. Just be comfortable riding rope tows. But it's such a blast to just get, like, I think we had 11 of us riding, and it was such a blast. So yeah, Ski Cooper, dude, Ski Cooper.
It was fun.
Probably one of the best hidden gems of Colorado. Plus they have catboarding up there too. So on Fridays and Saturdays. So definitely check that out. But Ski Cooper, big fans. Love that place. And thanks to Pat for showing us around that day. Pat's the man.
Place is rad.
Yeah. Ooh, you're going to love this question. What are your thoughts about the Yes Pick Your Line Uninks as a do-it-all banger, no park? I ride the Alps, variable terrain, and snow quality every time.
I love that board.
I love that board,
too.
too.
I absolutely love that board.
Oh, I absolutely love it.
I was supposed to ride 3 boards that day, or 3 pieces of gear, and I
two boards and a binding.
Yeah.
You could get to it.
And I told him I was just going to stick on that board all day. Like
I had the same problem when I rode it. That thing is so underhyped. And I think one of the problems is the graphic, but that board is so good. And then the edge tech from Yes, it grips. Like that board, if you're not riding park, like you can even ride park in it
Mhm.
to an extent. I could see myself riding that thing. Like if I ever just stopped doing reviews and I was just like, okay, this is what I'm gonna ride, I'd be so happy on that thing. That board is fucking phenomenal. So yeah.
Yeah. Take it in the jump line if you want. That thing rips. You can ride switch on it.
Oh, it's great
dude,
trees.
yeah.
Pow butters, like pillow poppers, like popping off cliffs, side hits. That thing launches.
Yeah.
It's got great snap to it.
It's light. It's
It's-
real light too.
And it dampens so well. Like you can't fault that board. Like that's just a great board. Let's see. Connor, what are your thoughts on the Never Summer Proto Slinger? That's a fucking piece of shit. Look at us. We put the word proto on 27 billion different fucking models. We won't put camber in our fucking snowboards. We're using fucking outdated goddamn fucking materials. Like, no, dude, go buy a real snowboard and be a man. Camber will make you happy. Okay, we got Jeffrey Wyant. Deep pow board, K2 special effects or Rome Ravine Select. Thanks, guy. You don't want the special effects for deep pow days. It's great if you're riding deep pow and low angle because it's so small. It's easier to push off of. You're going to want to go with that Ravine Select because you're going to get more length and you want that actual length, especially on deep days.
Yeah.
You know, that's the big thing. Like special effects is great until you get into something steep and deep and you're suddenly like, I have no tail to push off of.
Mhm.
You ever encountered that?
Yeah, I used to daily drive the cool bean. Like same
Oh,
thing,
yeah,
where
that's-
you're
yeah. You know then, yeah. So why are you on YouTube? Does climate change and extreme weather mean we'll finally have another 4th of July A Basin Day? If they weren't trying to get like their summer activities going, they could have stretched it to the 4th of July. They really could have. It would have been tough, but they could have. Like, it doesn't surprise me. I mean, we were up there, what, 2 weeks before they closed, I think?
Yeah, week.
Week.
It was a week before.
Yeah, and they had like closed a huge chunk of it. And I was still riding POW at the end of May up there. Like
we barely even got the pond to like halfway up the mountain like that.
no,
because
it didn't. No, it didn't
yeah.
even show up till the week after.
Yeah,
I think there was like a puddle.
Yeah, there
puddle.
It was maybe like 20 feet.
No, smaller than
well,
that.
on closing day.
Oh, on closing day.
It was like 20
closing
feet.
day was pretty big because I saw a video, but it wasn't as big as it normally gets, and it wasn't as deep because people were falling in the middle. Did you see the video of that chick that, like, she just murdered her face? Like, I was like,
The one that fell before.
no,
Oh.
she hit in on the side, and then there was like a chunk coming across, and she like basically backflip or like front flipped because she hit it and smashed her face onto the edge, and then flew back out. Like she just toasted herself. It was friggin' ridiculous. So yeah, yeah, climate change is gonna fuck up a lot of things for sure. Okay, Justin Miller. Our binding size chart's messed up. Riding 8.5, so I bought medium Malavitas, but have way more heel than toe. The 8 center on the center line on a small. Even the 8 is max size recommended for a small. Yeah, because Burton sizing is funky as shit. Like I'm a medium in their stuff at a 10, and it fits perfect.
I mean, with the ankle straps, when I have my ride fuse boot, it doesn't fit on a medium.
See, and I'm in a Thraxis,
Yeah.
so I've got a higher instep than you.
Yep.
So
and
it fits different.
Also, Burton, like, they're always heel heavy. Like, almost no matter what you do on their bindings. Like, even if you push it all the way forward, it's like...
According to Curtis, all bindings are heel heavy.
Yeah,
which is factually true
yeah.
if you really look at it. So you got to kind of leverage that out and do that. But yeah.
I mean, it depends on what boots you have, too. Like, ride K2 boots.
Yeah,
have a smaller footprint.
But you go to like a 32 and it's
or
bulky.
a Vans, you got big marshmallow foot.
Yeah, you go to a Solomon and it's narrow, or a Nitro.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, Nitro. Talk about an underrated boot brand.
Yes.
I need to talk about those more, I think.
Kind of a weird lacing system on some of them, but once you get past that, it works pretty well.
Well, you know what's cool about that lacing system? If it breaks, you take an Allen key and you pull it off, and then it becomes a lace boot.
Oh, that is super cool.
Yeah, you can take it right off and relace it with a regular lace.
That's
Most people don't know that. So, okay. Oh, we got a bunch of super chats we got to catch up to here. So, we got AG125. Thanks for the cool stickers, Averin. Everyone, join VIP if you haven't already, sinners. Yeah, so Angry Snowboarder VIP, got a link down in the description. It gives you early access to reviews, and you can go back all the way to April and get next year's reviews, because we did one a day starting mid-April. So that's April, May, June. Now here we are in the middle of July. You're getting 2 reviews a day, and then we're going to have those going. Starting next month, you're going to get audio commentary once a month on a Hollywood snowboard movie. We're going to start with Out Cold and kind of just work our way through all the trash that's ever come out. I really want to do Aspen Extreme because there's only one scene of snowboarding in it, but I really do. I really do that. And I want to do Ski Patrol with George Lopez.
Yes.
Because that was before he got his teeth capped and he's got that giant space in there. Oh my God. Yeah. So we're going to be doing audio commentaries on Hollywood movies and stuff. And then the other thing is, let me see if it's back here. Yeah. We also might do audio commentary on like the old Mac Dog and Videograss movies. I bought those hard drives, so we can do those too for you guys. So that's one of the perks you get over there. Plus, depending what tier you take, you get monthly stickers, or 4 times a year you can get a big sticker pack too for $15 a month. So yeah, so it's really cool, and that money goes right back into what we do for all you guys. So yeah, but yeah, you get a lot of content over there. So thanks for the support. Can't stress enough how much that is actually fueling this growth phase we're in right now. Spin again. You get a spin.
Come on, mystery.
Someone's going to enjoy the mystery box. It's big. Remember to subscribe. Oh, we got our moderator, Carlos Enriquez, saying, "What up, fam? This summer stuff sucks. Bring back the cold." Carlos, our resident man on the mountain down in Snowmass. Love riding with Carlos. You haven't met him yet, I don't think. Yeah. So we'll go down to Snowmass and go ride with him.
Let's do that.
He is a long-time local down there. So Carlos is the man. But thank you, Carlos, for always being a moderator. I appreciate it. Give her the beans. Let's see. Slushy Shredder, did they change anything up on the shadow band for the new season? Graphic. Ooh, this is a good one from Tyler Thomas 24. K2 Party Platter or Solomon Dance Hall for a resort board with lots of trees. What would you choose?
I go Party Platter.
Really?
I would.
I'd go Dance Hall. That taper in the tail.
Okay.
Sinks a little bit easier. It's just a little more zippy when you get into tight trees.
That's fair.
Like that's where I would go with that. But either of those, super solid. Let's see. Ooh, here's a good one from Milo. Thoughts on the Phantom base treatment? Is it worth the $200 or just an absolute waste of money? I want to hear your opinion.
I don't know. I don't really like it just because they put one temp of wax on there, and then what happens when you're in the slush or like super cold days? Then you got to wax over it, and then what's even the point of it? In my opinion, like
no, there's no wax in it. It's an epoxy coat.
No, I know, but like.
It
doesn't do the same.
Different
temperatures.
No,
it's like so what I'm trying to get.
Yeah.
Like,
so here's my issue. You put that in there. Where'd your structure go?
That's fair, true.
You know. And here's the other one. You hit a rock. You got to get P-Tex work done. Now you have a space where it's not there.
Yeah.
I think if you were putting it on for just a straight race board, and that was in literally 2 laps a day through the race course, that was it.
Yeah.
It makes sense. Like I like the concept of it. I just don't think it's been perfected enough. And like to hear like I had someone sent me some stuff, but unfortunately I just could never get to it. But basically I had to let it cure for like 36 hours or something. Yeah. Just absurd. So
I also you have to put it in the hot box too. Which
yeah.
You keep your board in the hot box for a day or so, like you're supposed to, I think it is, like 24 hours, I think they say, or something like that. Yeah. It's in a 200-degree box. That's going to soften up all of your all of your adhesives and everything. I would imagine, at least.
Oh, here's one from Berto. Unrelated topic, but I just watched the docuseries on Shaun White and showed him as an athlete, but not a snowboarder. Thoughts? You watched it.
I watched the first episode.
You actually have thoughts on your laptop.
I do. Oop.
Watch it there, bud.
Yeah.
Bouncing that camera around.
But yeah, I did have thoughts on it. I mean, like, yeah, not really a snowboarder. He definitely exiled himself, I would say, like right from the beginning, but it makes sense. Like
when he was 16.
Because when he was 15 in his first.
I've met him numerous times, and when he was 15, he was right on that cusp. And I went skating with him at Windels. It was just he and I riding the vert ramp, and he was just like, "Dude, thanks for being chill." And I was like, "No, dude." I was like, you and I are just doing our thing. And then like some pro-ho chick, and he's like, dude, and you could tell he was just so uncomfortable. So I purposely fell and shinnered her. I was like, boom! Some poor 16-year-old girl just took a skateboard to the shin from 18-year-old me so that Sean could skate.
Yeah, no, I thought it was a good doc, like for sure. Like it's pretty cool. I remember watching him back in like 2008 when his first Olympics and stuff, and that was rad. But it's like, yeah, I mean, it's fluffing him up a lot and everything. But like, yeah,
it's a documentary for people that go snowboarding 5 days.
Yeah,
that's what it is. It's for your mom.
I'd rather see like a Mac Dog doc or like a Jamie Lynn one. That would be intense. That'd be sick. Like,
have you seen the Microdose series?
Yes. Yeah. So I mean,
yeah,
they've done it. I mean, they couldn't afford the HBO budget for sure. Like he has, which is sick. But like, yeah, I'm interested to see where it goes from here. That's for sure. Like,
because it's 3 more episodes.
4. I think there's 5 or 6 total.
Okay.
Last one's called The Goat. So yeah, I don't know. It was good. You get to see him get absolutely lit up by Bob Burnquist. That was wild.
Hopefully they put some footage of him trying to ride POW at Copper.
They have footage of him riding POW when he's a kid, and he looks a lot better when
he had a narrower stance.
Yeah, he looks. You're like, okay, he looks like a kid in Steamboat ripping POW, and then like you watch his like adult POW stuff, and you're like, ooh,
so fucking.
It's ugly. It's uncomfortable to watch.
Anytime that Detour would come to Breck or Copper, and he'd be there because it's Colorado.
Yeah.
If you want it to snow, have a contest. It's just plain and simple. So he would show up, and I'd see him like trying to ride POW. And my friend Alex Martin would just smoke him, spray him to high heaven all the time. And the best part about Alex is like, so he broke his arm a bunch. So he's got like the raptor claw going on, but in the raptor claw is usually a cigarette. So he's just like spraying Sean, and then he's like chiefing as he's riding away. And you're just like, oh my God, this is the greatest thing I've ever seen. He's just like cigarette half hanging out of his mouth, just laughing. Gotcha, fucker. You know, so yeah. So this is too funny. Yeah, anyways. Okay. Let's see. What? Ski Cooper got rid of catboarding? Bullshit.
Oh.
This is bullshit. You better put a chairlift up there. Okay. We got a super chat from our boy BZM's Rope Toes. I only ride 6-seaters with heated bubbles and gondolas. I mean, there's something to be said about that.
I mean,
but does it have Wi-Fi? Because the Vail gondola has Wi-Fi.
No.
Did you know that?
Yeah, Steamboat said they were gonna.
They never did.
They're like,
I remember the first time I got to the Steamboat. Maybe they're gonna do it to the new one they're putting in.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Ooh, next question gets a spin. Let's see. Let's take one. We're going to take this one from 4x4 Therapy. Do you think snowboard trends are moving away from volume shift back to longer boards, or is it just me because I'm a fatty boomstick? I think to an extent they are, but regular boards are also getting wider.
Yeah.
Which to where they need to be. Like, it's funny when people are like, when I argue with people, I was like, yeah, it's a wide board. And they're like, that's not a wide board. And I was like, dude, 10 years ago, that would have been an ultra wide board. So shut the fuck up. Yeah. I do think they won't go away. They have their place, and there's people that are going to buy them. But if you notice, there's like, instead of being that rapid downshift of like 10 centimeters, they're going like somewhere between 3 and 6.
Yeah.
Like Golden Orcas like that. You see in that, what else is
the Psycho Candy, that's 4 to 6. The P Seeker, I think that's 3 to 6.
Something like that.
3 or 4 to 6.
Yeah, because I ride a 51, and if it was 6, I'd normally ride like a 57 and something like that, 57, 58. So that does make sense.
That being said, everybody's going to make their own version of it, but yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They're not going anywhere.
No, they're not going anywhere, but I also think we're going to see not longer boards, just slightly wider boards. A lot more 3D shaping and a lot more like going back to camber.
Yes.
Like, even if it's still flat and kicks down, so it's like a camber 2.0, we're still seeing it. It's coming down. Like, if you look at the C3 camber profile, it keeps getting longer with the camber zone every year. Mm-hmm. And now they're doing a direct, they won't tell you it, but you can actually see it in some. They call it a directional camber. So it's like got more from the back foot and then comes down into the flat on the front. So you're really starting to see it. Yeah. So, okay. So we're to our boy Jack Offbeat. Hoping to hear a rant, dealer's choice on what was an egregious sin in the world of snowboarding this year that needs to be addressed. I don't have anything to really rant about right now. Like, I don't know. Kind of pissed that Copper's going to charge for parking next year. Oh, we got to spin again on that one. But, no, right now I'm not really in the mood to rant. Ooh, take a question for TC. Okay, let's see what we got here. Let's see, trying to find something. All right, we're going to take this one from AG125. I'm planning a trip to Colorado in February. Which resorts do you recommend that aren't too crowded and suitable for beginners?
I mean, if you're going in February,
Steamboat's solid.
Steamboat's solid. It's not like
It's just
crazy
far
busy.
enough off the beaten path, and you can fly into Hayden.
Yeah, you get some direct flights.
Yeah,
which is
so
nice.
like if you take the direct flight into Hayden, you bypass that 4-hour shuffle up I-70 and then up the highway from Silverthorne up. That's a good one. Copper's not bad in February. You just got to make sure that Dew Tour isn't going on or one of the events.
Mm-hmm.
But even if it is, you got to understand there's 3 villages. So there's East, Central, and West. Central is always a shit show. It will always be a shit show. But you start to go out to West where the beginner areas. I mean, because, you know, when we were cutting back from like Union Meadows and stuff, and we cut through that beginner area, you'll see like little groups of like 4 or 5, and then there'll just be miles of nothing around, and you're like, this is great. So Copper's solid. I really like Steamboat. And there, don't go to Breckenridge, don't go to Keystone. A-Basin's too gnarly. Loveland's too gnarly.
Beaver
Creek's good because they have that groomer train that runs 24 hours. You can, on a powder day, like a 2-foot powder day, if you're tired at the end of the day, you will find a groomer cat track all the way to the back. Plus, they give you free cookies.
They do give you free cookies.
Beaver Creek's really cool like that. And, you know, you don't have to deal with the pretentious truck stopness of fucking Vail.
Yeah.
And Aspen, like if you go to Aspen, like you probably want to go to like Buttermilk or Snowmass and that. Or if you get off the beaten path, like Ski Cooper would be a great beginner resort.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can see everything in one day. So it's not super big. Monarch isn't too bad either on the front side.
No, Monarch's not bad. You see a lot of jeans there.
Yeah. Durango or Purgatory, or whatever the fuck they're calling it these days. There's that. Then there's Powderhorn outside Grand Junction. It's probably not everyone's cup of tea.
Sunlight's a little bit more advanced, I would say.
Too many moguls.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, too many moguls.
We got it on a good day without moguls, but yeah.
So yeah, there's a few, but I think Steamboat's really the safe one, especially with that new gondola going in, because that'll take you right to the beginner area.
Yep.
So you'll be able to get right out of the base area, hop the gondola. I mean, it's going to be a long gondola ride. I think they're saying it's 22 minutes or something.
Yeah, but it takes us to the top. Like,
yeah,
you're going all the way.
But it takes you all the way over to the beginner area. So it's no longer get on the gondola, go up, take the cat track all the way around, get on the chairlift, go up the chairlift, go over, go down, then go back up to get to where you need to be. So, I mean, it's going to save you like an overall, and for a beginner, that would probably be an hour and a half to get there.
It'll save you lunchtime for sure. By the time you make it over there, it'll be lunchtime, and then you
got to get something to eat at like Ragnar's or something.
Yeah, and then you got to go back, and that'll take you about an hour. So it's nice.
Yeah. So yeah, I'd say just go to Steamboat. In all honesty, you know, Steamboat's a cool place. Yeah, I really like Steamboat. Okay. Let's see. All right, we got a super chat from Waco. I don't care about graphics. I'll get the pick your line on ink, side hits, carving, and some non-groomed runs. Thanks. I'm 5'10", 175, 180 pounds. So 157 or size up?
I go 57.
I go 57 too. Yeah. I don't think you need to size up on that one.
Because
that one's actually a little bit wider.
Yeah.
So you can, because I ride the 57 at 200 pounds. And other than the fact that I can really wheelie the tail, I don't have a problem with it. Oops, spin again. Don't forget to wipe. That was a TC one. Did you forget to wipe once?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, not thoroughly enough.
Not thoroughly enough?
Yeah.
That's why you own 7 ninja suits?
8 now.
8?
Yeah.
Oh, you can go past a week without having to. All right. Stuff I find interesting with the super chat. TC is a good choice. Right on. Give the man a spin, sir.
It's got the mystery written all over it.
Someone needs to win that mystery. Well, they got a small
You got a
sticker
sticker
pack,
pack.
so
Thanks for love, my man.
yeah, that's 2 sticker packs. Small ones you got. Guess we'll upgrade that to a medium. Okay, let's see. We got dog drafts with the super chat. Need new boots this year and heard what you just said about Nitro. What mid flex do you like for me to see if they fit my foot, fit my needs? Great to have you back and love TC's reviews. What is it? It's the Team TLS is probably the mid range one.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm remembering, I think it's the Team TLS,
Yeah.
or you could get the Team Lace. Does that come in BOA too?
I think it has a side bow on it.
Okay.
The lace does, yeah.
Yeah. So I think what's the price on it? Like $389, I think.
That sounds about right. $379, $389, something
yeah.
like that.
So I think it's the Team Series is the one you want to look at because the big thing is just look at the price. That'll tell you where it needs to be because I think they have a boot that I think is like $4 something, and that's their high end. But I think the Team is like $379. That's where you want to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I think yeah. So. Give the man another spin. Jesus, you got the other spin again. Give it to him.
All right, let's see. I thought that one was close.
Oh, was getting there.
Another one.
Well,
Ooh, jumbo.
Well, sir, you won yourself a jumbo sticker pack. So email me info@angrysnowboarder with your mailing address, and I'll get that in the mail to you. Okay. Let's see what else we got here. RC5, how much has the GNU anti-gravity changed? It got a whole overhaul this year for 2024. And I didn't get a chance to ride it, so I think it's a shape change and a camber change because I think it went from C2 to C3, or was it C3? I can't remember.
It always had camber in between the feet.
So it was a C3.
It was always Did it go? So it went to C2 or C2X?
No, Then the camera profile stayed the same. The shaping changed, then the flex changed because I know there's 2 things that changed on it. It basically isn't as soft and forgiving as it was. They made it stiffer. I know that much. So, oh, poor Josiah just realized, wait, Copper's charging for parking. Evidently, Alpine Lot's going to charge. It might just be weekends. I'm not sure. They haven't really come out with it, but they're trying to. So the problem is with that 2 lanes that comes off to Copper, people are backing up because the light. What they need to do is, because people are leaving Copper that live there trying to get out, what they need to do is when you hit the Copper light and you're making the left-hand turn, it should be a 30-second turn because that's all people need to get on the highway, right? If everything's clear, 30 seconds, boom, you go out with it there. Then the main light, you could have that thing stay green for 10 minutes or something like that, and then there would be less problems. So the county has basically told them they need to figure out this parking or this driving in problem. And I was like, there's so many easy options for it. Like for everyone that's a resident, you can take that frontage road and have it loop back around and boom, they'd be fine. And then you just make that light. You only do it when it's start of the day, end of the day. So you would do it between 8 to 9, and then you would do it between 3 and 4. That's it. And that's the whole thing. But I don't think they're going to charge what they do for the private lots. It might be like $2-3. They're going to try to just wait. If it's a really big deal, here's what you do. You drive to Frisco, you get off behind the Whole Foods and the Safeway there, park, hop the free shuttle, the Summit stage. That runs, I think, every half hour, every 20, so maybe 3 times an hour. You hop that, you're going to be at Copper in about 10, 15 minutes, but it's going to drop you right in Center Village, and you can walk right to the Chondola. So, yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, we got a TC super chat. TC, what was your favorite and least favorite trend you saw on the mountain this year?
Favorite trend is those giant pants coming back.
Fat pants,
Fat pants, dude. Like when I started snowboarding, and I think it was like 2006, it was like Mark Frank Montoya era, and like
Well, these kids are taking it to the next level.
And I had like fat pants back then. Stopped snowboarding because I had soccer and track like year round, and then when I started up again, everybody went to skinny pants. I'm like, what the hell are these nut huggers? And I still had fat pants, and I'm so happy it's back. Like I could just recycle my old outerwear, the special blend, the Foursquare. It's coming back. The old stuff. Don't buy the new stuff.
Yeah, but what's the worst trend?
Oh, worst trend. Clicks. Any sort of like the step on stuff, I think. Like just strap your bindings. You're out there to do activities. Just strap it in. Like
So you don't like those clue bindings?
no.
Let's hear about them.
Just hate those things. Just know if you ever buy a pair of those, you're gonna have to go to Europe to get replacement parts. And if you go to any real snowboard shop, they're gonna laugh at you and tell you to get the hell out. So
how many people have come to you trying to get replacement parts?
Oh, like 5, I think. I had 4, and like
did they cry when you told them that nothing will fit?
They were just like, I'll make something work. Give me some parts. And it's like, no, dude, go to the hardware store, do it yourself. I don't have like all these screws and nuts and bolts laying around. Like,
dude, that's the problem. They made a proprietary ladder strap.
Yeah.
Their ladder straps literally do not work with any other binding at all, because they made them proprietary, because you had a bunch of fucking engineers that went snowboarding. We can do this better. We will do this. We are German. Nah, 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 nah. I think they're German. I don't know. But sounds like those guys have sucked down too many bratwursts in their life. But yeah, so
yeah, worst trend in snowboarding, I think, is the easy entry bindings.
What about people with disabilities?
That's fine, but like your average fat dude and like 20-year-old all want step-on bindings. Like,
but what about these?
Those are fine. There's a specific customer for this, like a beer belly man. Like you know who you are when you're buying these. But like if you're,
I made you ride those.
Yeah, and they weren't terrible.
No, they're not.
It takes a little bit to get into them.
I trust these more than a Burton stuff.
Oh, 100%.
Have you ever used the Burton stuff?
Yeah.
Did you have any premature release issues?
I didn't have any premature.
I did.
I just heard clicking and everything. I actually had a customer like last week came in and he's like, yeah, the first week I had my step-ons, I like popped out of it with one foot. I'm like, oh shit.
Oh Jesus.
Granted, he's 6'3", like 250, 270 maybe, but like, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And straps work just fine. So
I feel like it's just Burton trying to lock people into buying their bullshit.
Yeah, they're recycling old tech.
Have you seen their what's been going on with the first generation step-on boots from Burton? The toe cleats are blowing out and it's destroying the whole boot, and they won't warranty it, and people are freaking out. And I guess there's some issue with the first gen to the new gen, like they're not quite compatible or something, I guess. I don't know, but people are losing their shit as from what I've seen. So yeah. Oh, okay. So we gave him a spin, and then we got spray them all. All right. Okay. Stuff I find interesting. Is one email sufficient for the 2 sticker packs? Yes, sir. It is. Less work is better for me.
Here comes a third.
Support your local shop. Okay, Jason Alba with the super chat. Need a new board. Any directional twins you recommend? I love my Mega Merc, but it's feeling like too much board for my 40-year-old self. Thoughts? Oh, that's when you bump down to the Ride Shadow Band. Let's see. My stomach's grumbling. Which is weird. That new Resort Twin.
Yeah.
Would be
100%.
softer. Would be the Spring Break Resort Twin would be softer for you. Jones Mountain Twin to an extent. Kind of depends. Like, well, you're on a Mega Merc. You could even go down to a regular Mercury.
I would probably say do that.
Yeah, just go down.
It's gonna be
Sell your Mega Merc and go down to the regular Merc, and you'll be fine. Or get that Resort Twin. That's a solid one. Or if you want something a little different that not everyone's going to have. Problem is you're limited to one size, though, is that Nidecker Gamma, that asymmetrical one that they make. Fucking phenomenal. That board is amazing. So amazing. You got anything?
I mean, you could do an assassin, but it really depends on like how much different, like softer you really want to go. Like,
well, you also get a different camber profile with that assassin. Which,
if anything, I'd probably say the Assassin Pro, just because that assassin's gonna noodle.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you're coming off of a Mega Merc. Like,
Yeah, you
I
got.
would just go regular Merc.
Yeah,
You know you like it. Like you already know you like the Mega, so that's what I would do.
for sure. Give her the beans. Oh, okay. Michael Jaxa is asking you 23-24 Captain Mercury TC. Do you approve?
I like the Mercury. I didn't ride the new one. They changed it just a little bit this year, I think.
It doesn't have as hooky of a feel as it used to.
Then yes, I would definitely approve then, because there were some times where he just wants to grab that corner and you're like, okay.
Ty King, what's the worst snowboard of all time? The F-16 Cheetah. They made a snowboard that couldn't ride powder.
Okay.
You literally made something called a snowboard that could only ride on firm frozen groomers. Like, yeah, it's called the Whip, the F-16 Cheetah. It was like $2,800. It was all carbon fiber. It had a center cut out of it with a weird riser pad in the bindings. Like, oh my God, fucking that's horrendous. Now, worst board I've ever ridden would be the Soul Stick Pocket Rocket. I think that's what it's called. Pocket? I don't know. Some fucking swallowtail from this brand called Soul Stick out of Eastern Canada. Goddamn thing looked like they never cleaned their cassette when they pressed it. So looked like there was gummy worms in the top sheet, like these divots in there. They literally made a powder board that couldn't turn. You had to go Mach 10 and throw your hip into it to turn. There's actually an episode of Can Kevin Carve It? In the first turn, I seriously thought Kevin was going to die. It was off the pally chair at A Basin, and you know how when you go underneath it, he did a toe side turn and it locked in, and I thought he was going over the rope into the rock field, and he was screaming. And he's like digging his hands into the ground, and he like just like, I almost fucking died. And I was like, yeah, we don't ever need to do that again. Like seriously, probably the worst fucking thing. Like, oh my God. Then I look at like all those $7,000 to $10,000 like fucking
designer boards, Prada. I was just thinking that actually. I was thinking about that. I was like, worst trends in snowboarding. Designers trying to come out with like
designer
Prada
boards,
Gucci boards.
White
Space. What?
What? Huh? Oh God, no. Kylie Jenner had something. What was it? It was
that one. That was Prada. The Prada.
Was it a Prada? I didn't think it was a Prada. It was a $7,000. It was some other one, and everyone's like, "Oh, she's tearing it up." So I figured out what factory it came from. It's based off of a carving board.
Okay.
With a ton of carbon in, it's based off of a carving board shape, but it was biaxial glass, extruded base, 4x4 pattern, not 2x4, 4x4.
Hell yeah.
I think, and there was only 4 on the front and 4 on the back, or 3 on the front and 4 on the back. So you had limited stance options on it, and the waist width on it was like, I think it was like a 27.8, and then it was like a 16-meter side cut.
Hell yeah.
Like, talk about some fucked up weird shit going on.
That's like late 90s.
Oh, yeah. No.
Pipe. That's like Tira in the half pipe,
my
dude.
God.
Like...
Yeah, no, it was. That was one of the worst things that, yeah. Okay, what else we got here? Okay. Keon Ulmer, going to be at Vail and Beaver Creek in late January. Tips on how to handle the resorts and make the best out of my 2 days there. With Vail, hit the gondola first thing in the morning, hit the cat track to Blue Sky, go to Blue Sky, dip down, go back, and just go to as far back as you can, as fast as you can, then work your way forward. You'll thank me later. With Beaver Creek, take your time, go wherever you want, go explore. If you see trees and it doesn't look like anyone's been in there and there's no sign that says you can't go in there, you can go in there. You can go anywhere at Beaver Creek.
Yes.
And they will come get you if you get stuck. But Beaver Creek, like, you can just go anywhere on that mountain and just have a good time. Mm-hmm. Like, it's so much fun. Like, you can do the whole resort in like 5 hours. Stone Creek Chutes is pretty cool if the snow's good. January's a little early, but if it's filled in good, if we got early snow, Stone Creek, you can lap that all day. Strawberry Park is pretty good. Yeah, it's just a good mountain.
Yeah, I really love Beaver Creek, actually. I've been there like 3 times.
Oh,
I've been in like the past 6 or 7 years, but it was awesome. Like,
believe me, if if I retired, just wanted to live somewhere, I'd go to Beaver Creek and just ride Beaver Creek the rest of my life.
Yeah, no lift line still. Everybody else has been getting hammered. Even during COVID, like people were like, yeah.
So the level of bouginess that's there, you got to understand, like at one point, I think Bill Gates had a house there.
Mhm.
Steve Jobs did. Like a lot of billionaires did, right? Like everyone's like, Aspen's for the rich. I was like, Aspen's for the rich that want to be seen.
Mhm.
Beaver Creek is for the ultra rich that don't want you to know they're next to you. And that just translates into how it is. Like, I mean, you want to talk about a run that's like 10 football fields wide, like lengthwise of a football field wide, perfect groomers, side hits for days, pow everywhere.
Mhm.
And on a pow day, like no one rides the pow. They're like bitching and moaning about it. It is fucking nice. Plus free cookies, man. It's all about those goddamn free cookies.
They're always so warm too.
They're fresh baked.
I don't know how they keep warm out cold.
Oof. Jimmy McElroy, what exercises, stretches do you recommend to get rid of quad patella tendonitis? You need a foam roller.
Mhm.
That's a big one. You want to make sure you roll everything out. Squats are really good, leg lifts, stuff like that. Hit the exercise bike. You start with a low weight, high repetition, and then you work up. You don't need to be jacking yourself. Oh, here we go. Waco, new series. Can TC huck it? Side hit festival. TC's got an interesting way of hitting side hits. Like he'll be right next to me and his board's like right about here while I'm riding on the cat track, and he's just looking at me like, whoa, and I'm just like, fuck, he's gonna decapitate me again.
That could be fun though.
Could be.
That could
We'll
actually
see.
be fun.
We'll see. We got other stuff we're working on.
Yeah.
All right. Peter Dabrowski, love the Kazu Pro I demoed last year because of the speed, slashability, and pow trees, and the boost off side hits like nuts. Bummed it got changed for next year. What's similar to the outgoing model? Let's see. The problem is since the last time I rode the Kazu, they changed it, and then they changed it again for next year. So I think what it was they were trying to create some kind of differentiation. So if you're looking for something that rode similar to that, I'd say it's probably like B-Sod or Mega between the two.
Yeah. The Mega Turn's a little better than the old Kazu.
Yeah, the old Kazu was kind of a slug. You threw your weight into it.
The new one's really fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like, think of a
Big Mountain Mercury.
Yeah, Big Mountain Mercury, like a beefed up Merc almost. Yeah.
THK just got on. The new co-host is obviously the love child of MacGruber and Arthur Longo. Yes, dude.
Yes.
You know what's funny, and he's told me this. He's got a photo of him and his dad, and Arthur has a photo of him and his dad, and they both look the same.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Like
if you watch Side Euphoria 3, there's a second where they like pause and show a picture of his dad with his camera, identical to my dad. Like super weird. Like gray hair, knows everything. It's really strange.
Yeah, there's some fun stuff going on there. So anyways, but guys, let's see. We're going to try to wind this down. We've been here almost 2 hours. So get your last questions in. We're going to try to answer them. Before we do, Jesus, man, my stomach is grumbling. You heard that, right? Like that thing is just like
I've been hearing that.
It's just like, I'm
like, is he just farting a lot over here? Is this his stomach?
That's just my stomach.
I haven't smelt it.
No, it's just my stomach. It's just doing stuff. So, where'd that go? I thought I just finished that. Let's see. Why is this being weird? We're gonna end that poll. Let's see what we got here. It should pull up the results. Hopefully. Why is this? It's running with a delay here or something. I don't know. Okay, so we got Liston closely. What bindings would you pair with the Captain Ultra Fear? Well, the Ultra binding.
Yeah,
that's
100%.
100%. Maybe the bent metal joint. Ride C6.
Yeah. District Pro.
Yeah, Solomon District Pro too. So yeah. So you got a bunch. Damn, where the hell did the results go for the friggin' poll? That just went MIA on us. Okay. Ty King, what is the worst ski resort? Alta, Deer Valley, and Mad River Glen. Fuck them all because they don't allow snowboarding.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. All right. So stuff I find interesting. Thank you for coming back. Well, thank you guys for being here. You guys are the ones that we do this for. We're hopefully going to be doing this more often. So, oof. Oof.
Oh,
Loser.
you're so close though.
And THK, just for my boy Mac Longo. You're living in your own world over there. Give it a spin again.
We gotta get the mystery. I gotta know.
Yeah, remember to subscribe. So with that, I think that's where we're going to actually end everything today. So remember to subscribe, click the bell, get those notifications. That way you're not missing anything. If you want to support us further, swing on over to Angry Snowboarder VIP. There's a link in the description, but I got a video over there that explains it somewhat. Got to redo that. But you do get access to all the written reviews early. And right now, I think there's got to be close to 100 on there, if not.
Yeah, I mean, if we're dropping 2 a day.
2 a day right now. So there's that. And then just be aware of what we're working on. We got top fives, a lot of top fives coming out for you. Explain videos on Monday and Friday. Boot Fitting 101 is getting completely redone. So that's going to be stuff for that. We're going to be doing a bunch of repair videos, stuff like that. So we got content coming for all you guys. So thanks again for everything. And we'll see you guys next time.